Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Not So Daily Vlog, starring me, Todd Graham. Filling in for Todd Graham tonight will be Todd Graham. So, you see this? This is a smile, kind of. Please disregard the yellow teeth. Which is funny, because I don't smoke or drink coffee, so you draw your own conclusions. Smile! It's different than usual. Why? Because Indecision 2010 has been closed! I've been teetering back and forth for about a week now about what to do with my employment problem. For all of you who do not know my employment problem, I've been unemployed for the most part for the last 2 years, ever since Appleseed's closed. So, I've had the daunting task of finding work in the worst fucking economy I've ever lived through. So, yeah. A lot of people aren't hiring people that have phone customer service experience. Anyway, so here's what happened. And I'm gonna go into full disclosure mode, because fuck it. What else am I doing right now? I might as well tell you everything to a point. Last Tuesday, alright, I decided it was job search day. So I sat down at my computer and started filling out applications for places that I might actually want to work. And I filled out an application for AMC Lowe's, the movie theater in the mall. You may know it. Chances are, if you know me, it's the only movie theater you go to besides that shittier one. But anyway, I filled in the application, and I sent it in. I thought nothing of it. And then I remembered that I called Blockbuster I sent an application to Blockbuster about a week prior. Now, don't get that wrong. Blockbuster may have filed for bankruptcy, but filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy allows them to continue to stay open while the government helps them pay their bills. So anyway, I called them and let them know, hey, I filled out an application. I'm curious if you're interested at all in my services. They say, well, we don't, blah, 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 blah. And I said, I have past video store experience. Well, that greased the wheels, because she was like, instantly she knew where my resume was, and blah, 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 asked me to come in for an interview on Thursday, which was 2 days later. I said, excellent, great, hung up the phone and thought to myself, well, shit, I haven't not gotten a job that I've interviewed for since I started working. So, awesome, I'm going to have this interview, I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to shine like I usually do, to those people who don't piss me off. Anyway, I was going to go shine, get that job. About an hour later, I get a phone call from the movie theater. No bullshit. Sent in the application, and an hour later I get the phone call. So you can tell they're looking to hire somebody. So I get the phone call, and they say, hey, we saw your resume, and blah, blah, blah. We want to get you in for an interview. And they were like, how's Friday, how's blah, blah, blah. They were naming off days next week, and I'm just like, oh, shit. Now I got 2 interviews I got to deal with. How am I going to do? And they're both part-time jobs. So me, with my manly brain, thought to myself, I've been unemployed for 2 years. I can handle the task of 2 part-time jobs at the same fucking time. Well, that was my manly brain. My somewhat sensitive emotional side brain went, oh no, this is not a good idea. Anyway, I decided to stick with the manly brain, at least for a little while. So I said, sure, I'll come in and interview. When can I come in and interview? And they're like, well, you can come in Friday or Monday or Tuesday. And I'm thinking to myself, that's way too late. And then they say, I mean, I could do the interview with you now, but that's way short notice. I'm like, book it. I'll be there in 20 minutes. So I show up there, and I do this interview. And the interview usually lasts a half an hour, or so I'm told. I was in there for an hour because, well, I'm a good talker, and apparently the person interviewing me was a good talker too. Usually what happens when you go to an interview, if they're required to make you do a second interview, they'll wait a couple days and let you know if you qualified for that second interview. I was asked to schedule a second interview at the end of the first one. Awesome. Very good indication of my chances. So I did, and I set it for Friday, which also happened to be my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary. Good going with the manly brain, not remembering I had plans with them. Anyway, Thursday rolls around, and I go to the Blockbuster interview. And the interview, well, before we get into how it went, let's talk about before it went, before it got kick-started. I show up 15 minutes early because I think, at least I'd appreciate it in the business world that it's a good idea to show up early for an interview. And I show up and I say, hello, I'm Todd Graham, I'm here for the job interview. And the person who scheduled the interview, who I talked to on the phone, was standing right in front of me and said, I didn't schedule an interview for today. Red flag number one. Poor memory for the manager. Anyway, so with that being said, let's talk about waiting. Because at that point she was just like, well, I'm just waiting for my 4 o'clock people to come in, and then I'll interview you and blah, 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 blah. So I show up 15 minutes early and wind up waiting 30 to get into this interview. And I sit down for this interview, and once again, something that should have taken a half an hour takes an hour because you get 2 gabby people. I am a chatty Cathy once I get going. And she tells me, hey, you got the job as long as, and I'm not going to discuss it because it's personal business, but it's something that really isn't a problem with me because I'm a fucking choir boy. But the fact of the matter is I had to pass something. And they said, okay, yeah, we're going to hire you, and we'll let you know on Monday because it takes 72 hours to process, blah, 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 whatever. I said, awesome. So I got that job. And I'm thinking, all right, 1 job down, 1 more to go. And I go in for the second interview on the Friday. As it turns out, even though I forgot my grandparents' 60th anniversary dinner that I was supposed to attend, the timing was right, and it really wasn't a conflict. So I go to the second interview, and it's literally 10 minutes because the person's basically just checking over what the first person wrote and making sure that I'm not a bullshitter, and I'm not, because I there's just not enough time in the day to be a bullshitter, okay? And then, so we move on from there, and I get the gist leaving that I may not have gotten the job. Anyway, so it's Friday. They asked me at the movie theater to call, because I let them know, I gave them full disclosure about the fact that I got hired at Blockbuster 2. I let them know, I was like, well, I'm going to try and juggle schedules and blah, 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 because I want the 2 jobs. I need the money. And I do. And she's like, well, that's okay. You call me on Monday or Tuesday and let me know what's going on. Monday comes around. By the way, on Monday, took a 30-minute trip that lasted 4 hours to Wilmington because we got lost. And on that trip, I got my driver's permit, my learner's permit, for the 3rd fucking time. This time, I'm going to say it again, it is fucking closed. I'm going to have my license by the end of this fucking run with my permit. God damn it. It's about fucking time, I think. Or so my parents tell me. Anyway, so Monday rolls around. It's about 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I call Blockbuster because I want to know what the fuck's going on. This is what for one thing, I call up and I go, hey, and I get the same person on the phone, mind you, same person I talked to, same person that forgot my interview. Called up and was like, hi, this is Todd Graham. And the response she gave me was almost as if to say, hi, person I don't know and never heard of. You motherfucker. You knew I was going to call. So I call up and I say, yeah, I'm just calling, blah, 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 pending the results of the whatever. Once again, not getting into it. And she's like, well, the system's down and we can't get into it. And I'm just like, I've given that excuse to people when I didn't know what the fucking problem was. But okay. Anyway, she says call back tomorrow. And that's another red flag for me, because at this point, motherfucker, you should be calling me. Okay? You fucked up, not me. So anyway, I call back the next day, because I'm a sucker and I need the money. So I call back the next day, and, well, this is the response I get. It's noontime now, because I called when I woke up. I wake up at noon. I called when I woke up, and I said, hi, this is Todd Graham. Hey, she knew who I was this time. And she says, well, we just finally got into the system, but I'm trying to catch up with my work, so I'll give you a call before the end of the day. I said, okay, that's fine. So at about midnight, I realized I wasn't getting a phone call. Strike 3, fuck you, you're out. However, I was worried about my waiting to tell AMC about my Blockbuster schedule, that I may have lost the job as a result of not being timely. So I fired off an email about, I would have called, however, I don't have any information for you. So it would have been weird calling, hello, job I don't know if I've gotten yet. I just want to let you know I have no new information for you. Have a good day. You know, like, it would have been a waste of time. So I sent a well-worded email explaining the situation. So, in desperate times, I came up with the idea of maybe I could go to work at Merchant's Liquors with my mother. Anybody who knows me and my mother do not get along. But I'm not going to go into that any further because my mother's asked me not to talk about her online and Facebook and blah, 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 and our problems. So let's just say I got the job at AMC, and I start work November 15th. So thank you, true believers, for being by my side when I needed you. Yeah, and now it's and thank you. Let me send some specific fucking shout outs, okay? Because there's some people that have gone above and beyond for me in my time of need. So I'm gonna directly credit Adam Nessel, Kenny Nessel, Tony Cerullo. Those three motherfuckers have been the greatest fucking people to me when I needed them, okay? Because I've been broke for a while now, and those motherfuckers, whenever they say, hey, let's go out to let's go out to Denny's, let's go do this, let's go to the movies, let's go do that, never once did they not include me, knowing full well that if I wanted to eat, or that if I wanted to participate in whatever was going on, whether it be bowling or going to the movies or whatever, knowing full well that they were going to have to help me with money, and they did it without batting a fucking eyelash. These people are my best friends, and I love each and every one of them for being there for me. So thank you guys. You guys deserve all the credit in the world. Now, I'm not saying that nobody outside those three people was incredibly generous to me, but I really wanted to credit those three guys. Because I'll credit another one. My father, and my mother. My mother and father have been incredibly good to me. The fact that I'm not fucking contributing a dime right now, and they still help me out. They bought me a new mattress when I needed one, and trust me, I did. And they took care of me when I needed to pay my bills, however small amounts they are. But they took care of me, and this is why I live at home. So anybody who has a problem with living at home when you like your parents, kind of, well then fuck you. Why'd you move out? But that being said, thank you guys, and thank you all the people that watch the daily vlog. Hopefully I do these more often so we can have some more fun together, because I always felt it was kind of cool letting you guys into my life when I knew I couldn't, when I knew I couldn't interject myself into yours. So now we get to stay, maybe if I keep doing the daily vlog, we get to stay close, and at the same time, maybe we don't see each other, but at least you'll know what's going on in my life. Feel free to tell me about yours, because I've always wondered, there are so many people on my fucking Facebook. I have like 400 friends, or 300 after the big deleting spree that I did, but I have so many fucking friends that I'm just not close with, and you know what? It's a goddamn shame, because either I was close with them, or I want to be. So if there was ever a reason why you and I have never been close, watch the daily vlog. Or better yet, email me from time to time and tell me how things are going. I'd love to hear it. So with that being said, this is the end of a very, very fucking long daily vlog, 13 minutes and 30 seconds at the moment. And I really hope this works, because Facebook, when you record videos like this, they fuck up and don't save. So I hope this hasn't been a waste of time. Also, for those wondering about links and shit, because I'm not editing it, I'm going directly to YouTube, they have this thing called subtitling. So I can go, don't forget, let's try it again, because I want to get it on screen. There it is, okay. So don't fucking forget to go to www.pzwrestling.tk. It is currently under construction, but it's better than adrenaline wrestling. Thank you and good night.